That's right. Man your battle stations, Social Security torpedo. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the DOXX Report. Retired United States citizens, MAGA member, I'm proud of it. A recipient of Medicare payments, living and broadcasting from Central Florida. Where? Come on, where are you, Frank? Where are we broadcasting from? Where do we live, Frank?
Del Boca Vista.
Thank you, Frank. This is my personal YouTube channel, vlog, citizen journalism account, and my generalized social online platform. Thank you for joining me. Can't really stream later in the week, Tuesday, when we got the World Cup. Is it what, France and Portugal and Argentina and England. I don't know which days they play, but it's Tuesday, Wednesday. So I thought I'd better get a stream in now. And I just did a short one over on a Friday. So quite a bit going on. Did a little research. I got to get some of these clips out of the way. And how is everyone? Let's see, where am I at? Here we go. No, 6 people watching, no comments. So what is the Social Security tax? Social Security tax torpedo, I had no idea. So a brief overview. The Social Security tax torpedo is the name given to a hidden increase in retirees' effective marginal tax rate. Uh-oh. It happens because additional income can cause more of a person's Social Security benefits to become taxable at the same time. In other words, earning or withdrawing one additional dollar may not simply add $1 of taxable income. Oh, no. It may also pull part of Social Security into the taxable column. The IRS uses a calculation of often called combined income or provisional income, adjusted gross income. Let's see. So tax-exempt interest is 50% of Social Security benefits. You see, under the current law, blah, blah, blah. So why is it? I don't understand it. All I know is I'm going to use AI to calculate. I'm going to give them my information, and I'm going to say, how much can I withdraw from I'm going to do a rollover distribution, but keep me in the 10%. Because I don't have to do one this year, but I'm going to do one. I'm going to say, keep me in the 10% range, and I don't want a tax torpedo. A retiree may take an additional withdrawal from a traditional IRA, mine would be rollover, and expect only that withdrawal to be taxed. But the withdrawal may also cause additional Social Security benefits to be taxable. That means a relative modest increase in income can temporarily produce a surprisingly high effective marginal tax rate. The extra income has effectively triggered taxation on 2 things at once, the new income itself and additional Social Security benefits. Okay, what's income that can trigger the torpedo? We don't want a torpedo. Well, I don't want any torpedo aimed at me. Let's see, traditional IRAs and 401k, well, mine's a rollover, but that's still an IRA, withdrawals. Required minimum distributions, well, that'll be next year. Interest in dividends, that I'll have. Capital gains I will not have. I'm not employed, so anyway, there's your torpedo. The bottom line, the Social Security tax torpedo is not a separate tax or IRS penalty. It is the result of the formula used to determine how much Social Security becomes taxable as other income rises. There's a sweet spot. You don't want to trigger their torpedo. So the most important lesson for retirees. Now, why are you bringing this? I have a lot of older people listen to this show. A majority are like in the 55 range. Do not look at an IRA withdrawal, capital gain, or other source of income in isolation. Its real tax costs may include the additional Social Security benefits that the withdrawal causes to become taxable. It is confusing, and you got to keep up with it. And I'm doing that with AI. OpenAI, which owns ChatGPT. It's a little tricky to play with. I mean, I learned how to do the columns, and the projects, But it's hard to bring up the research that I've done, and you just got to refresh the page. So there's your attack torpedo. Let's go back outside. How do I get back outside? Do this. There it is. Beautiful day. People were golfing earlier. It's cooled off a little bit. It's only 91 in the birdcage now. So I like it. It's all green. We finally got some rain on Sunday, which was pretty good. Hey, what happened to Jax? How come every time I turn on the Holiday Man, it's Dr. Bob? I wonder if Dr. Bob did him in, huh? What do you think? Now, how strange is that? What's his name? Who's the senator from South Carolina? Lindsey Graham. He passes away at 71? That's a young man. I'm 72. Now, he had a torn aorta, a tear in the aorta, so I guess he just bled in his chest. Went pretty quick. But the toxicology hasn't come back. Was he poisoned? Depends on the toxicology. Was the tear in the aorta just a cover story? I don't think so. It was the official disclosure of the medical examiner. But the toxicology will be interesting. You can work yourself to death sometimes, So did I have that in my outline? No, I didn't have that. The other thing I want to research is in fact, I'm going to do that right now. There's a lot of talk about what was it? Let's get rid of this. Well, we may come back to that. Listen, a new chat. I'm just learning how to use this thing. I got Chat GPT Plus, so it remembers all the previous conversations. So, Air Force One, was there an attempt on our president's person? Because I don't believe corporate media. When I see stuff on CNN, this is CNN. It's like telling me Biden's doing well. I don't believe anything I see up there. I have to research it. Was there a legitimate attempt on the person of President Trump? Or Air Force One while in Turkey? Because a lot of people, listen, I'm in the news business, and we do thumbnails. You want to get attention. So, and you look at the thumbnail, and there's a certain message. And there's no, it doesn't, they do a 20-minute show on other stuff entirely. Okay, this is Chat GPT, which you can't trust completely, and I will demonstrate. There is no public evidence that an actual attack was attempted. Well, that's not what I'm asking. Was there a legitimate attempt, or I got to change the question. Is there a legitimate attempt or plan in place or conspiracy on the person of President Trump or Air Force One while in Turkey? It says, I'll separate verified from rumors. Well, that's not what I'm asking either. Is there any evidence? So I got to change it again. Shit. Is there any legitimate evidence or plan in place because he did switch planes, right? Here we go, finally. There was a legitimate security concern, but the publicly available evidence does not establish a confirmed operational plot against Air Force One, nor does it show that Turkey or Turkish officials were involved. Well, I'm not blaming them. Could have been Iran. I mean, they have agents everywhere. During President Trump's departure, July 8th, the Secret Service recommended that he initially use the older, fully equipped Air Force One rather than the newly converted Qatar-donated aircraft. The older plane was more extensive missile countermeasures. Ooh, the older plane has more extensive missile countermeasures, secure communications, and other defensive systems. Trump later transferred back to the newer aircraft in Britain. Okay, interesting. Let's see. We got any comments? Oh, we get 2 comments. Thank you. Oh, you're gonna don't start on Jax already. No, I'm not even gonna read that. I'm gonna go back to the article. I mean, I did ask about him. He's something I never know whether to believe Dr. Bob. He said the dentist broke his jaw. I don't know if he's joking. I mean, I don't know how that's funny, but okay. Back to Turkey. President Trump. Israeli intelligence reportedly warned U.S. officials about a possible Iranian plan to kill President Trump. Okay, there you go. The warning was serious enough to be considered during presidential security planning. However, some U.S. officials reportedly assessed that the information was not entirely credible. No public, well, I would take it seriously. No publicly released evidence such as, well, they're never going to do that, such as identified attackers, weapons, launch sites, arrests, or an intercepted operational order has confirmed that an attack was ready to occur. Okay. CBS News, I could care less what they say. Okay, so credible enough to take precautions, yes. So it says it's assessment, fairest conclusion, it's credible enough evidence to take precautions, which they did. Now, speaking of this poor woman in the UK, an ex-prime minister, what's her name, Anne Widdecombe? The guy's he's getting in his car, his hatchback. They've got him under arrest. He's got a big wooden club sticking out of his pocket, and he drove 260 miles to her house. That's premeditated murder to club her, to bludgeon her to death. Why? That has to be political, right? I don't know what they're telling you over there in the UK, but that's crazy, man. That's terrible. All right, Pavel. Yeah. Really? Okay, that's well worded. Thank you. Pavel, it appears that without the genteel, or does that say gentle? I think it's gentle guidance. Let's just call it the good guidance or appropriate guidance and generous contributions for CNF. I never was the big money. I didn't super chat all the time or Cash App all the time. I presented him with the platform. He's got the platform for a year. From Central Florida Network Global, Jax has entered a period of contemplative seclusion. Okay, it has nothing to do with the dentist. Well, he always said if he didn't like it, if it wasn't funny, he wouldn't do it. And pasta in the house. There he is. 9 people watching. I was going to stream maybe over the weekend because nobody else would stream. It's like, why do I always have to do it? I mean, nobody was doing it. So what else have we got? Let me cross that off. Air Force One attempt on the president. Okay, that was a legitimate concern. Israeli intelligence. I'm going to show you, well, I don't know what to do first. Let me show you a clip, okay? And on this clip, I'm first going to read to you. I took a still of it, and I gave it to ChatGPT, and I said, what am I looking at? What is this thing? Oh, I can't make it out. If you could give me the MP4 file, I could tell you more. So I loaded the entire file up. And it did give a thing, or a response. Where is it? I'll get it here. All right, so let's go to a better background. Hang on, to play this clip. Well, no, I can do it this way. Yeah, I'll just show you it this way. Hang on. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you a very strange Ring doorbell thing. And So you can read this for yourself. But it concludes, it's not my conclusion, but this is how AI can be wrong. Best conclusion, a person moving around while wearing or holding extremely infrared reflective material with the ring's camera exposure and night vision destroying most visible detail. I cannot determine the exact clothing or object because the relevant pixels are completely overexposed. But the movement is strongly human and there is no visual evidence here of an unexplained creature, apparition, or airborne object. So it's saying it's human, right? And I say to that, oh, really? So I'm going to play it one time and I'm going to loop it. Here we go. You telling me this is human? What do you think? Now, I'm just a dumb human. I don't think that's human at all. What do you think? Now, I'm not saying it's extraterrestrial. I'm not saying it's a phenomenon of some kind. But you think a person could do that? They should go to Las Vegas or Circus or Circus Delay or something. Oh, great, it's raining. Just when I decided to stream, it rained. But I'll take the rain. It should be light rain. I just thought that was very strange. Now, there's such a thing as ball lightning. Could that be ball lightning? I've seen some examples of it, but it usually doesn't, go around like that. So, just a phenomenon. Who knows? Now, could it be AI? Possible. I mean, Mookie could have made that maybe. Put the ring emblem up in the left. Oh, it's coming down pretty good now. Okay. If I lose you, I'll come back on. Ball lightning, I've never seen it stay that long or spin like that. But, yeah, some kind of plasma, some kind of energy thing. Exactly. What the F was that? Well, AI says it's a human in reflective clothing because I ran it through the chat GPT. Very strange, very strange. I should have played this earlier. Oh, look at these golfers. You got to be kidding me. You're nuts. I won't go out there. If they get hit by lightning, I'll call 911, but I ain't going out there. I hope he's not going to stop. Oh, you're going to play in the rain? That's just ill-advised because there is thunder. He's out, right? He's out. Or did he just pick up his ball? I can't believe it. I got to see what he does. Why would you just park there? You can get killed in a golf cart, can't you? Yeah, he's out of the cart. Not smart. Seniors are not that smart. Pavel, it doesn't even look like... it doesn't even look like the camera's in IR mode, as you can make out the red in the brick to the side. Yeah, and so AI, you can't believe it all. And it says, Mookie, new business. Oh man, it's really coming down now. which is great. And I'm home. I did my workout, had my breakfast, went and did some shopping, and let it rain because I just squirted off my car. I got all the dirt off of it. Speaking of which, I'm going up to the Toyota dealership, and I'm going to do my first service. Should be free. And this woman told me you got to have the oil change. Oh, that's great. I want it changed. One last time on the ring image, and watch how it bounces down. Interesting, interesting. I never want to see that on my doorbell. Ring doorbell. Well, it went terribly wrong if it was, but I'll give you credit for that. I'll give you credit for that. Apasta, I think that was Puck Elf on Morty show playing with his lightsabers. Well, he should go to Las Vegas with an act like that. You can make some money. Oh, how dare you? Wait a second. Let's see, Mookie says, where's Greta? Greta, where'd you go? Did I get rid of you, Greta? Oh. No, I didn't. 2 p.m., time for brandy.
How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, how dare you? I'm not that big a drinker, okay? Friday, maybe a Saturday. But no. I do have something to celebrate, but I don't know if I want to share it with you. Sometimes it's hard being an EDMM. And here I thought Patrick A.D. Never Calling was a fellow, he was a DECA maybe. And he's got a job. What's a job do? Volunteer work? His job is as a volunteer, or is he working? He said he had to get training. What's going on, Patrick? You trying to work your way into heaven, doing volunteer work? If any of my reporters are out there listening, find out what he's doing. So let me get rid of that. Patrick, AD Never Calling. Job, or is he a job as a volunteer? Don't know. And Anne Widdecombe, former UK minister, murder. Guy was getting in his car with a club hanging out of his, I guess it was the neighbor's camera. Oh, it's really coming down good. Maybe I should broadcast more often. That's great. It's got to be some loony leftist. Okay, we did the Ring doorbell. Ooh, yeah, I don't know, that's too bad. If Bob is to be believed, Jax's refusal to wear removable false teeth and instead embarking on a vain quest to have false teeth surgically drilled. Well, no, you have not. Well, what do they call those things? You have, you put a steel peg in there, but you get, it's not a cap, it's something else. It is quite expensive. Surgically drilled into his jaw has backfired rather spectacularly. I had a neighbor next door, and he was on, this is the guy, well, no, it was her son that said, they don't understand, we're poor. And this is the woman's brother who was living with them. And what he did, because Medicaid insurance for the poor. They will not cover, state Medicaid will not cover dental. He had all his teeth pulled and got dentures. I mean, that's one, it's kind of an extreme measure. See, he was never going to go to work again. He was never going to get a job, even though he's out skateboarding. He later died in the green belt because he was on an inhaler or something. It was hot. I don't know what the heck happened to him. Ironically, leaving him completely incapable of yapping his mouth that you functioned that. Well, I heard him say it broke his jaw or something. It's terrible, terrible. Oh, here's another one. How dare you? Greta, I got Tommy here accusing me doing drinking all the time.
How dare you? How dare you?
I don't need a brandy. Listen, I had my Wawa coffee. I don't need no brandy. I don't need no effing brandy. We don't need no stinking brandy. Where's my Wawa cup? There it is. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it is so beautiful. It's so tasty, delicious. I've been in there so much now. Like the cook's behind there, the one lady was saying, she says, she's Asian. Oh, you change your order? You change your order? Because I usually get the sausage. I go, yeah, you got pulled pork now. And then now she asked me how my sandwich was. No, I took it outside to eat, but it's the pulled pork and I got extra sauce. And I got to wash my hands before I leave. So I put my coffee in the car. I go back in to wash my hands. She goes, oh, you back? I said, not for anything. I'm just going to wash my hands. Pretty funny. And then I was at Walmart, of course, and I'm looking for I want market-side chocolate chunk cookies. And I play a little game. I look for anything on sale I'll buy, just to suppress my spending on it, because I don't want to put on the weight. So this woman sees me over there. She goes, what are you looking for? I say, I'm looking for market-side chunky chocolate chip cookies. And she goes, she pulled out her phone, and she can check the inventory in the back. No, we got it on the 8th and the 2nd. No, we don't have it. None of it. Okay, thank you. I guess I'll just have to make do with what you got here, and then she leaves. And then I go over to her before I leave, and I lean over, and she's like, she doesn't know what I'm going to say. And I said, oatmeal raisin is not an option. And she just started laughing. She knew what I meant. I would never buy an oatmeal raisin cookie, even if it was on sale. I want my chocolate chips, damn it. I will buy a cowboy cookie once in a while. So I ended up getting, what did I get? I got chocolate, peanut butter, chocolate chip or something. Just 6 of them. Okay, comments. Let's see. Oh man, look, 2 non-contributors, Mookie and Pavel, the leader. Oh, I don't want to throw you both out of here. I don't run a daycare center, so if you start in on each other, I'm going to throw you both out. So just relax. Enjoy the show. I'm not even going to read them if you go after each other. Listen, if I was having a drink, I'll tell you. I'm not ashamed of it. But on a Monday at 2 o'clock, no. Friday or Saturday, I'll do it. In fact, this Saturday is Whiskey A Go-Go. I had a whiskey on Friday night. Okay, I'm not even going to read those. I'm not even going to read that stuff. All right, back to the show. And we got to talk about this Ozempic. All right, these adult men who are obese and overweight. How did that happen? They have a different metabolism than you. No, they have a lifestyle that put all that weight on. And now they want the pharmaceutical industry to fix it for them. And it just doesn't work that way. All right, so I'm going to read you the most serious potential side effects of Ozempic. Pancreatitis, severe persistent upper abdominal pain, sometimes spreading to the back with or without vomiting. Severe allergic reaction, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, or throat, difficulty breathing or swallowing, fainting, or rapid heart rate. Gallbladder disease, gallstones, or gallbladder inflammation causing upper right abdominal pain, fever, jaundice, or clay-colored stools. Kidney injury or kidney failure, usually associated with prolonged nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea causing dehydration. Warning signs include reduced urination or swelling. Severe stomach or intestinal problems, persistent vomiting, severe constipation, abdominal swelling or pain. Ozempic is not recommended for people with severe gastroparesis. Worsening diabetic retinopathy. That's where your retina goes to hell, your eyesight goes. Sudden vision changes, blurred vision, floaters, or vision loss, particularly people who already have diabetic eye disease. Dangerously low blood sugar, mainly when Ozempic is combined with insulin or sulfonylureas. Symptoms include sweating, shaking, confusion, weakness, rapid heart rate, or loss of consciousness. Possible thyroid, C-cell tumors, including medullary thyroid cancer. This occurred in laboratory animals. Whether Ozempic causes it in humans is unknown. Warning signs include a neck lump, persistent hoarseness, difficulty swallowing, or shortness of breath. People with a personal or family history of medullary thyroid carcinoma, or MEN2, should not use Ozempic. Aspiration during anesthesia or deep sedation, because Ozempic slows stomach emptying. That's kind of how it works. It holds the food in the stomach so you feel full. Food may remain in the stomach and enter the lungs during surgery or procedures. Tell the anesthesia team that you take it. Well, what's your point, Lex? It's because these people wouldn't go out and walk or get some kind of exercise. You were designed, hunter-gatherer, and you working and moving around, but just sit at home and you don't have an exercise program? So every case by case is an individual case, okay? I get it. And that's fine. But can't you talk to the doctor and say, okay, I've lost the weight. Can I taper off and start walking? Because it'll be better on your joints because all that weight's been removed. But you really want to be on this the rest of your life? You think God designed you and gave Ozempic to the world so you wouldn't have to get out of the house? Okay, that's it. That's my preaching on the thing. Get off your ass. Get to the gym. But you taking a tablet? I mean, that's just, I think you're terribly at risk. Pasta, I'm not drinking. Okay, I got to work out tomorrow, and then Wednesday I got to go to the car dealership, get my first service. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Have a drink. No. There's about 150 side effects. F me dead. Well, it's a serious, now think about it. You were designed perfectly. You got respiration, you got digestion, but you got to get out there and use your muscles. What do muscles take for energy? Sugar. It removes sugar out of your bloodstream. And as you're working out, you've got the liver starts metabolizing, what you've stored. But just to say, well, no, I don't want to work. No, give me a tablet. Let me pop a tablet. But I would think once you get the weight off, talk to the doctor. Can I get off this now? Can I wean myself off it? And let me start working out. Let me start walking. Well, we're not talking about a bad heart, JB. You are, but I'm not. I'm talking about Ozempic from obese people. How did they get obese? Well, it runs in the family. Like, my family is obese. I'm the only one that was going to the gym. Have a discussion with your doctor, but don't think you have to be on it. That's all I'm saying. You're 300 pounds and you went down to 180. Congratulations. Can you get off of it and start walking? That's all I'm asking. It's not my body. So if you had a bad heart, don't take any. No, I'm not saying that at all. Well, okay, well said there, Pavel. It's a pharmaceutical escape for lacking even the slightest bit of discipline in one's lifestyle. Yeah, how did you get obese? Well, I just woke up and I was 250, 300 pounds. No, it's your behavior, your lifestyle. Consider a fitness lifestyle, but talk to your doctor. Say, I feel great, I've lost this weight, but I want to get off this stuff. Okay, I'm not. No, you're not coming over here, JB. You're doing a great thing over on the. You can respond over on the Jackson. Well, it's actually the Dr. Bob show now. I don't want you and Pavel to get into it. Hey, AD never calling. I just talked about you. Are you? What kind of work are you doing? You don't have to tell me specifically. Like you're the working at a car dealership. But do you have a job, or are you doing volunteer work? Is your job part of a volunteer thing? Or you need the money because the channel's not generating the money? I mean, come on. I'm in the news business and people want to know. Hello, Patrick. Okay, well, I'll come over on the, when I wake up early, I'll come over on the Holiday Man show. Docs, I would love to have a discussion with you on this. Look, I told you it's case by case. I'm not telling anybody to drop it immediately, but how did you get obese in the first place? Pavel having his popcorn. There's no escape from this Ozempic talk. I just think it's there's so many benefits to exercise. Your mental capacities are better. You're actually good for the brain. Don't ask me. It was a Nobel laureate on Larry King. Larry King asked him about what dementia, what's Alzheimer's, and he said, "Well, there's nothing we can do about Alzheimer's, but we can work on dementia." And he goes, Larry King said, "Well, what do you do?" He says, "Walk." Larry King, walk. Yeah, you walk. It releases something into the brain from the exercise. There is no way the wallet chain is real. The Bitcoin? Yeah. I don't own any Bitcoin whatsoever. Oh, great. So now here's a success story. So now I'm not saying do a 5K. I'm just saying walking, but now you got the weight off, great. 80 never calling. I've been off my shot for 8 weeks and only put on 2 pounds. The pharmaceutical escape has been, for you, you were big, man. Congratulations. I don't want to put that up there. That could be, yeah, you're not doing drywall, are you, Patrick? Well, you got to watch the diet too, but I'm saying it curbs your appetite. Mega value customer, you can't exercise eating too much and too often. If you eat 6,000 calories a day, every day, you're going to get fat. Well, that's true. That's true. But what I'm saying is, for me anyway, a little coffee and the exercise in the morning curbs my appetite. Well, he's got other problems besides the obesity, Pavel. Really? And then are you part of you're on the narc bandwagon on peptides? I'll have to look that up. 80 never calling. As for the haters, well, nobody's hating. I'm just questioning it. Common sense, A doctor, I'd like to lose weight. Well, why don't you try some exercise? No, here's a tablet. Take this. As for haters, lives are being changed every day. Pharmaceuticals can help people with medical problems. Is it a medical problem? That you're obese, is that a medical problem? Or is that a lifestyle problem? By the way, peptides have and will continue to change the world of healthcare. Oh, I got to look that up. What's all this talk of peptides and health? Question mark. Oh, it's part of Ozempic. Peptides are having a moment because successful drugs as Ozempic are peptide-based medicines, and wellness clinics have expanded that idea into injection. Oh, God. Oh, marketed for a fat loss, muscle gain, injury repair. Oh, it's magic. Sleep, sexual function, and anti-aging. Oh, just take this peptide. Forget about the side effects. Just shoot this into your, in yourself. Well, peptide, before I even read it, that's a part of, it's an amino acid chain, right? A protein chain. It's a peptide, right? A peptide is simply a short chain of amino acids, right? Smaller than most proteins. Your body naturally makes thousands of them. Then why do I need to inject them? Many functions as chemical messengers, including insulin, GLP-1, and growth hormone-related signals. The word peptide, okay. Let's see. There's three very different categories get lumped together. Legitimate, FDA-approved peptide medicines. All right, we got those. Those okay. Collagen peptide powders and supplements. Oh, now we're into NARC territory. These are essentially digested protein fragments. They may modestly help some people meet protein needs, and research suggests possible small benefits for skin and joints, but they are not remotely equivalent to prescription peptide injections. Once swallowed, most peptines are broken down. Yeah, because it's a protein. You break it down. You digest it. Wellness, clinical, or internet research peptides. Oh, here we go. I don't know. It's like sitting at home and you want to put on muscle. You're sitting at home wondering, let's see, I want to feel better. I want to, fat loss. I'd like to lose some weight, gain some muscle, injury repair, sleep, sexual function, and well, I need opportunity for that. Why people are interested? Because it's easy. That's why they're interested. They want results quickly. Okay, now I've pissed off everybody. Really? Well, no kidding. All right. Well, I get it. I mean, 80 never calling, Docs, I'm back to work doing what I've always done in my career. Retirement isn't for me. Well, don't go to the villages then. Oh man, there's a couple. I followed some geezer into Wawa, and it's like he couldn't make up his mind whether to open the door or not. He thought it was automatic. So I opened the door for him. No, I don't want to read that one. I did an obstruction, but it was from a hernia. Okay. Dr. Nork, the peptide king, Dr. Nork. Yeah, I don't. Let's see. Okay, docs, have fun with your narrative. Yeah, it's my show. Of course I'll have fun with my narrative. You got Dr. Bob over there. Come on, I'll hop on over there once in a while. Listen, it's case by case. How many doctors would they don't even bother recommending exercise when it's the best thing for a majority of the people? There's no argument there. But they don't do that. You come in there, I don't have time to go to the gym. Give me a pill. But do not allow anyone to challenge your thoughts. So you can challenge them all you want. What is the behavior called again? I don't know. I have my opinion. That's all. It worked for me. From my experience, and I've been obese. And when I started reading meters, I was walking 4 hours a day. I just slimmed down. I just lost a bunch of weight, and it was just through the walking. I don't think there's a doctor out there, a legitimate doctor would say, don't exercise. Pavel, now the best narcolations, the best narc talk have a kernel of truth. Yeah, he's a demon. You be careful of him. Anticipatide, metabolism, weight loss, okay, diabetes, blah, 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 tendon repair, okay. When's the last time you tore your tendon? I had an ACL tear, allegedly. It healed. I mean, I'm sore when I get from the fitness center, but I'm not taking a peptide just because I'm sore. I think that's where the body's building also. Who's the Nacho King? The Nacho King. AD never calling. It's not about quick and easy. Peptides are better than drugs and amino acids assistances that improve lives. Give it some time and you'll understand. Slow, adopt. Well, I'm 72 and I've never needed it. I'm on allopurinol for gout, and I take what do they call it? A generalized term, a lipid lowering. What do they call those? A statin. And I'm on a statin. I'm 72. But I have a fitness lifestyle. No, it's your body. I'm just saying, think about it. Most doctors love these peptides as they can't deny their amazing success. Well, if some people need them, fine. You know, if I'm in the rest home and I don't know when I would need it, you know. Most doctors love these peptides as they can. Not PepsiCo Cat King for sure. Whatever. All right, let's get going. We got plenty of stuff to cover today. And I'm getting out of my credit union in Indiana. It's the last thing I have to do with my old job. They came into the workplace, and it was Eli Lilly Credit Union, Federal Credit Union, so I joined it. But it's Indiana, so it's like, yeah, it's time to get out. I got all this money over there, and it's like, what am I doing? Getting 1%? So it's all going to go over, already filled up Fidelity, now I'm going to go over to Vanguard. And as soon as I get my credit card, I did get my credit card from Citibank, Costco Visa. But I have a credit union Visa, which has zero balance on it now. I mean, it's all paid off. As soon as I get the new one, I activate it, then I'm going to remove that Visa. I got to call member services at the credit union. Well, no, actually, member services at Visa, and they'll remove it from my account. And I'm slowly putting money. Every time I do a large, I have the brokerage house grab it, you know, and it takes about a day and a half. So that's in the process. Looking forward to that. So when I'm finished, I'll have a local credit union, a local bank, and of course Fidelity and Vanguard. That's enough. That's enough. I've never had a knee surgery. I had an alleged, well, I was on Medicaid at the time, which is coverage for the poor, because I didn't have a job, and so it was all about earned income. So I didn't have any earned income, but I had allegedly a tore ACL. Asked the doctor, do they heal? And he said no. And because I wanted an injection to stop the pain, you know, directly into it. And I said, will it help it heal? And he goes, no. I said, okay, I'll stay on the acetaminophen. And then I went home and got on WebMD or Mayo Clinic, and some heal and some don't. So I talked myself into this one heals, and it did heal. Through the grace of God, it did heal. The only surgery I had is the mesh repair, the hernial mesh repair with mesh, left inguinal hernia, and appendicitis, so I had to have the appendix taken out. And of course, the kidney stones were taken out. Now, no peptide's going to do that, okay? Would you rather have knee surgery or an inflammation, or is an inflammation cartilage repair peptide? If it can do that, people are in a lot of pain with knees. And are you telling me it replaces knee surgery and hip surgery? Well, okay, obviously then. You'd want to do that. But a lot of that, I think, is from lack of use. People are not walking, they're just sitting at home. All right, I found a new YouTube channel, which I actually donated to. It's called American Hobo. The guy, and there's a link in the description. The guy got out of Portland. See, you can leave Portland if you want to. And he hops the train. It was very entertaining. I mean, it was not even entertaining. It was a documentary. And he's going along the Hood River there, and the train stops. And it was just interesting. I sent him $25. But I came to, then I was watching he looks a little, I don't want to mention the name, but he looks like another YouTuber. A little bit. There's a resemblance here, but I don't want to mention the name. And then I saw the same guy on a cop show. They're going to the airport because he wouldn't pay $109 in Tampa. He wouldn't pay $109 tab. And I'm thinking, it really looks like him. So but who knows? I mean, who knows? He's not going to tell me. I have to look at it again. But I subscribe to it. It's called American Hobo. Oh, let's take that off. AD never calling. Good for you, but you're 72 and never needed it is not an answer for the medical advancements. Where would I be if cardiac stents are different than chemical, Ozempic, all right? That's a physical intervention. Had to be done. Where would I be? I don't know. I mean, does exercise remove some of that plaque? Who knows? Where would you be? Where would you be if you would have exercised on a daily basis? I don't know what your lifestyle was, but I mean, you're very obese, so I'm imagining you weren't exercising. Where would I be if cataract stents weren't invented? I'll stop here so you don't ban me. I enjoy your show. I'm just making suggestions. That's all. Medical advancement and fat people being impulsive and lazy can both be true simultaneously. Pavel, okay, there we go. Medical advancements and fat people being impulsive and lazy can both be true simultaneously. And could the extreme obesity, would that lead to stents? I think so. I don't think there's a doctor alive that won't say exercise. Okay, up against the wall. So why did you allow hernia mesh into your body? Many people don't need it. Why did you opt for the quick fix? Well, it was surgery. I don't like picking surgery. I thought I could live with it, because it would go back in at night, because I had a consultation with the surgeon. And one guy told me I wasn't breathing when I was doing the standing bicep curls. Don't hold your breath, okay? But it came out. And then the surgeon said, I'm glad they had it. It was great. I'm not saying don't get surgery. I'm not saying don't get a stent. And if you're 300 pounds, I'm not saying don't take Ozempic. But at some point, maybe your lifestyle put you there, right? My lifestyle put me there, lifting the weights with holding my breath. And I had a weakness there anyway. Day never calling is on the narc bandwagon. Many diseases will be improved or cured with peptides. They're doing great work with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Okay, great. If I have a need for it, I'll take it. AD never calling to Pavel. I'd like to know your visceral fat percentage, Pavel. Mine's like 20%. Mine's kind of high. I like the treats. I mean, I think to be healthy, you got to have some fat. You don't want to be one of these bodybuilders with, or 1%, dehydrated, that kind of thing. Okay, we covered the Social Security tax. Hey, what did you think of the diner intervention, Patrick? Did you happen to see my diner, the video on the Well, actually, it was a photograph, but the audio of the diner intervention by Green Room, what did you think of that? Let's see, do I want to show, what do I want to show? Hang on. Well, we have Trump on the phone. My smart scale says 1.7. Withings brand. You got a 1.7% body fat, Pavel. That would be extremely lean, I think. All right, we got Trump on the phone.
But if you look, for 47 years, they've been tapping people along, presidents. Every president got tapped along, didn't do anything, and they became more and more powerful. This should have been done 47 years ago. Shouldn't have been allowed to start. But Clinton let him go, and Bush let him go. Everybody let him go, and Obama was the worst of all because Obama actually went to their side. Obama, because, you know, he's a, well, let's leave that for another time. He was terrible, and he allowed Iran to, but he gave them $1.7 billion in cash, in green cash, put in satchels in an airplane and brought to Iran. $1.7 billion. Do you know what that is? Did you ever see $1 million in cash? This is $1.7 billion. It took up an entire Boeing 757, and they flew it to Tehran, and they gave it to people that were waiting at a plane. Can you imagine these people? They never saw money, and now all of a sudden they've got $1.7 billion in cash, and he gave them hundreds of billions of dollars in cash and everything else, and he went to their side, and because of that, they became much more powerful because of Obama. And Biden, who was the vice president, but he probably had nothing to say because he was not such a stupid person. But
On their side. Yeah, I remember that distinctly. Let's finish it up. On President Trump, when they had their airmen go down, the press, somebody in the press leaked that fact, made it much harder to rescue them. I hope they find the leaker.
As you probably know, we didn't talk about the first one for an hour. Then somebody leaked something, which we'll hopefully find that leaker. We're looking very hard to find that leaker. And talked about there's somebody missing. They basically said that we have one and there's somebody missing. Well, they didn't know there was somebody missing until this leaker gave the information. So whoever it was, we think we'll be able to find it out because we're going to go to the media company that released it, and we're going to say, national security, give it up or go to jail. And we know who, and you know who we're talking about, because some things you can't do, because when they did that, all of a sudden, the entire country of Iran knew that there was a pilot that was somewhere on their land that was fighting for his life. And it also made it much more difficult for the pilots and for the people going in to search for him. All of a sudden, they know that there's somebody out there. They see all these planes coming in. It became a much more difficult operation because a leaker leaked that we have one, we've rescued one, but there's another one out there that we're trying to get. So actually, the country, Iran, put out a major notice, you all saw it, offering a very big award for anybody that captures the pilot. So in addition to a hostile, very talented, very good, very evil military, we had millions of people trying to get an award.
Oh, I hope they find that news person that did that. I really do. AD never calling. I just get the reading off my scale. AD never calling. Mine is 6% body fat. Pavel, body fat is 9%. Loved the diner intervention video. Well, okay, thank you. I can play it again. For those that missed it, I don't think many people missed it. Once again, Green Room, the actor, he can play about any role, came in as Tony Clifton, the alter ego of Andy Kaufman. And he got in the face of Morty the diner and told him exactly how he felt.
I am your one-person intervention. And I'm here to say a very frank statement to you.
Okay.
I don't like THC weed Morty.
Uh-huh.
I want painkiller and or strong benzodiazepam Morty to come back instead. Look, this is all about you, Morty, and I don't like the direction that your life is going down. Whatever life there was left, which is arguable.
That's correct. Right.
Look, you're gonna get increasingly confused. I just want the old Morty back, and this THC stuff. It's specifically the THC is my issue. It's not the other weed related stuff. It's the actual amount of THC. Right now, you're acting exactly like Curly, whether you like it or not. You're in the process of becoming him with the THC stuff. This is where someone like Narc would join and would ideally be the bad cop, and I would be the good cop in terms of trying to get you to get you out of this cycle. So if there are any bad cops out there in the chat that wanted to join and perhaps really give it to Morty and his weed THC loving addiction, that'd be fantastic because it's very difficult to do both at once. That's what every person that's addicted to weed says. Oh, you can die. You can overdose from water.
Well, it's true. You can kill yourself from too much water.
Hey man, you can overdose from water, man. There's nothing bad about THC, man. Come join us at the franchise club. Morty, I'm gonna ask you a couple fucking questions. To summarize, Morty, I know you're a lot older than me. Who am I, a younger person, to tell you what to do? However, please just reduce the amount significantly and get back on the benzos, please. Hey man, you could eat a peanut butter sandwich and die. That means I should eat THC every single day for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Well, what a performance by Green Room. I think that's one of his top performances. Calling Morty Curly, acting like Curly. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. All right, where are we at? I think JB said something here. Adi wants to know body fat. When I get on the scale, it gives me my percent body fat. Does that mean anything, or you got to be weighed in the water tank or something? I don't even know. All I know is I know when I feel good, when I don't feel heavy, when I'm on that sit-up board and I don't have a gut. That's all I care about, really. All right, the provocative question here. JB, where would DOXX be if he had stress of family with responsibilities? I wouldn't put myself into that spot. I don't want to be divorced. The only way you guarantee you don't get divorced is don't get married. I couldn't support myself. How could I support a woman and kids? It would end in divorce. It would have been bad. At some point, DOXX, look in the mirror and see your flaws instead of... I'm not judging anybody. Jesus. I'm just thinking, start changing your paradigm. You go in there and say, what got me here? Doctor, what do you think about exercise? Once I get this weight off, what do you think about exercise? That's all I'm saying. I'm not judging anybody. Uh-oh, AD's calling him out. So Pavel, 9% body fat, 1.6 versatile fat. Ironman triathletes don't even have that. Time for a new scale. Pavel is the best of the chat, says JB. Oh, wait a second. He did 7 miles yesterday. Oh, that's how you destroy your knees. I did 7 miles yesterday. I like, plus being in Florida, I love the fitness center. I got a treadmill. I do a fast walk, and I swing those arms. And people are making fun of me that I swing my arms, but I'm doing like a 4.0, whatever that is. And I have long legs, and I'm covering a lot of distance, and I'm high-hoeing it. But just to get on there and like taking a stroll, to me, that's not exercise. So I swing the arms, and I do 20 minutes. But I'm consistent, and I still have to do, before I leave, I have to do the bicycle 20 minutes, and I have to do the elliptical 20 minutes. And that works for me. Just find what works for you, right? That's all. It's funnier for me if you don't believe JB, says Pavel. Let's see, that's not bad. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Started training more serious a couple of years. Okay. Well, I think he was sitting in the diner back there. Didn't you see him back there? I think he dropped by. Where is that? I'm not going to play the clip, but where is the... Look at the back. Now, see the quail on his shoulder, but look just below the quail. Look at that guy right there without the hat, with the blonde hair. A little like Puck. Can't tell for sure. Well, I don't want to put that up there, AD. I'll just read it. Morty cut the throat of his best and only friend, the guest Puck. Well, he wasn't. He let his. From what I understand, what I saw of it, he just let his ex-girlfriend on to talk, which pissed him off, and was being very friendly towards her. In Puck's observation, he didn't appreciate that. I don't want to say that. Live on the world to see how he treats people. I don't want to put that up there. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, JB. Thank you. Good night, dogs. Have a great night. Thank you. Let's see. That was a fantastic Morty show, to be honest. Wildly entertaining. The one he did, yeah, check it out. Check out Morty's Diner before it goes out of business. Right? I mean, it's going out of business. AD never called him Pavel. My wife did a full iron last November, finished at 14:15. Her best half iron time last June was 6:11. She's 56. Not happy to be slowing down. Everybody slows down. What you don't want to do is stop. I know when I was lifting and playing basketball, if I couldn't lift, well, I'm just not going to, no, you got to do something. You got to change it up, go to something else. There's so much stuff in the UAP stuff. I don't even, who knows what to believe. The government's got the War Department, they have some really fine footage. But I think what's going on, they want to warm us up. They want to get us ready for the pièce de résistance of the. They probably have an alien that's going to talk to us, or show the film that Gordon Cooper took. So they got some real, but they're just getting people used to the idea of strangeness. Just kind of they're inoculating us. They're inoculating the American public to get used to the idea that we are not alone in the sense of other beings. And let's see, I had some more clips. I played that. Oh, before we do that, it was July 4th, right? I'm going to show you a family outing that you don't want to be part of. You don't want Uncle Harry bringing his $1,500 fireworks over to your house. This is the 4th of July fireworks accident in Nebraska. Now, it's only, I laughed. It's only funny because nobody got hurt. It's unbelievable. The date was July 4th, 2022. You got a family and children in the front lawn, adults in the street preparing fireworks, and a Honda Odyssey minivan parked at the right side of the driveway. Keep your eye on the minivan. A firework failed to launch upward. It didn't go upward. Okay, then that's what you need to know. And what else? I don't think anybody was hurt. Nobody was hurt. That's hard to believe, but I'm glad of that. So hang on when Uncle Harry comes over with his fireworks, okay? In fact, I'll loop it. Here we go. Oh, let's get the proper background. Wait a second. I got to get the... No, I think it'll work. Keep your eye on the... Okay, here's the first launch. Oops, misfire. Misfire. Grab the kids. Get Junior. Look at Junior hopping. He got his shirt off. There's the minivan. Here we go. Minivan. Oh, jeez. Aha! Uncle Harry, what have you done? How'd you like to be across the street watching this? Oh! One more time. Not Florida. This is not Florida. This is Nebraska. Boom. Grab the kids. Get the hell out of there. The kid in the blue shirt, get out of there. Get out of there. Jesus. America. America. Ooh, went wrong. Went badly, very badly. Now what do we have? Let's see. Okay, Eric Davis. Dr. Eric Davis. I'm going to play a clip of him. But he is a important individual in as far as UAPs go. And I'm trying to figure out this chat GPT. So, okay, here it is. So I click on it, but it won't bring up the conversation unless I refresh the page. And hopefully it'll come up. It didn't come up. Oh, there we go. I clicked on it. Here we go. Okay, brief bio. Dr. Eric W. Davis. He is an American. Okay, I got a photo of him somewhere. Hang on. Dr. Davis, where are you? No, I didn't. Anyway, but he'll be in the clip. He's an American astrophysicist and aerospace researcher, best known for working on highly advanced and sometimes exotic areas of physics, including warp drives, wormholes, anti-gravity, quantum vacuum energy, and advanced spacecraft propulsion. He earned a PhD in astrophysics from the University of Arizona in 1991. During his career, Davis has worked as a scientist and consultant on projects connected with NASA, the Air Force Research Laboratory, the Defense Intelligence Agency, and other parts of the U.S. defense and intelligence community. His government-sponsored research has included studies on warp drives, transversible wormholes, anti-gravity, teleportation physics, and extracting energy from the quantum vacuum. All right. And he was UFOs and UAPs. He was ASAP, the AAWSAP, the Defense Intelligence Agency Advanced Aerospace Weapon Systems Applications Program. He provided scientific and technical support to them and the Pentagon, ATIP, and the Navy's UAP Task Force. All right, so he's an esteemed individual, and we're lucky to have him here with a clip. And Dr. Eric Davis.
Put me wherever you were when you got to see photographs of crash retrieval and documents. What did that feel like? What did it...
This is also before I play it. I'm sorry. It's the age of disclosure. he was part of. A James Fox film.
Put me wherever you were when you got to see photographs of crash retrieval and documents. What did that feel like? What did it?
That was startling when I actually see recorded evidence with my own eyes, photographs, reports, and whatnot. That took it to a higher level. That kicked it up several notches of reality. And that made it very clear that this reality is very hard, very physical, very real. And this type of evidence, you can't come by in the open literature. It's not public, it's classified. And I can't discuss what it was, but I can tell you, yeah, it's a crash retrieval, there's a craft, and there's alien bodies. That's all I can say about it.
You swear on your life that you saw those pictures?
Oh, I swear on my life and everybody's, my children's life, so. Yeah, I'm absolutely telling you the truth. I saw the evidence, and it's stark. I can't tell you the exact number, because it's classified, but I'll just say there's a few dozen total retrievals.
1930s?
Yes.
Crash retrieval?
It's in the classified record that that's a real event.
1940s?
Yes. Roswell.
As incredible as these reports appear, they are nothing new.
And one in 58, but there are others.
So when do you think this first occurred? Previously 1930s?
Magenta, Italy. We're going to be talking about that, but let's give a promo for the age of disclosure here.
They put a form down as a non-disclosure form.
He came storming across to me. He said, "Don't you ever say that again. You are never to speak of this."
And I made it very clear that it's something we shouldn't be talking about and just keep our mouth shut.
There was a culture of silence. I didn't talk to anybody about it, not my wife, not my colleagues, not people I knew. I just shut up.
There's ramifications if you were to divulge any of this information to anyone.
I guess I really have to talk about Magenta, Italy, since it's in the description of the program. Magenta, Italy, 1933 crash retrieval. It's been around a long time. Let's see. What am I looking for here? Another thumbnail. Here we go. Magenta, Italy. And I had some evidence for that. What did I do with it? Looking. Maybe I forgot to load it. Anyways, a document signed by El Duce Mussolini himself. So let's talk about the incident. Go to my projects. Magenta, Italy, UFO. Okay, here we go. See, this is not recent. It didn't start in the 50s. It started in the, this is back in 1930. Can I show this? I don't know. I don't have to show you the document. And there's a hanger. Here we go. The Magenta, Italy, 1933 UFO story. The Magenta case is essentially a pre-Roswell crash retrieval story. The claim is that an unknown craft came down in northern Italy in June 1933. Benito Mussolini fascist government secretly recovered it. A special scientific intelligence group studied it, and the United States later removed the craft from Italy near the end of the war, World War II. The story remained obscure until Italian UFO researcher Roberto Pinotti publicized alleged fascist-era documents in the 90s and around 2000. It has received worldwide attention after David Grush discussed the case publicly in 2023. The alleged crash or landing, here we go. In June 13, 1933, an unusual aircraft came down in Lombardy, west or northwest of Milan. It's called, and you can Google it, the Magenta crash. but this can be confusing. The alleged initial event is associated with Magenta, while the recovered object is said to have been transported to the SIAI Marchetti aircraft facilities at Vergati, roughly 30 miles or so away. So they stored the thing. But they have documents on it. Mussolini supposedly ordered a complete blackout. According to the alleged documents, Mussolini's government immediately imposed secrecy. Absolute silence. So that's interesting. So there's, you can research it yourself instead of me reading all of this stuff. So the sequence is 1933, a recovery in Lombardy, 33 to 44, 45, object hidden and studied at or near Vergate. End of World War II, Americans learned of it. 44, 45, United States takes possession. God, can you imagine the SA, or what do they call them? Special Services, or the American Special, precursor to the CIA, when they saw that thing, they go, what the hell is this? Mussolini, according to Grush's account, Mussolini government recovered the object. It remained hidden in Italy for more than a decade. Near the end of World War II, the Vatican learned that the Americans would need to know about it. Let's see, how did the Vatican get involved in this? The Vatican learned that the Americans would need to know about it. Pope Pius VIII, or Pius, the eighth, supposedly used a back channel to alert the United States. American personnel then recovered the craft at approximately 1944-45. There you go. America got it. What makes this case intriguing? First, the documentary trail predates Grush, David Grush. Some elements are historically plausible. Grush claimed knowledge of a separate U.S. record. All right. That's as far as I'm going to take it. Let's see, go back here. There we get the beautiful shot. It stopped raining. That was a nice rain. Wasn't it a beautiful rain? Oh, 3 people. Nobody wants the UFO stuff, the UAP stuff. Okay, back. What else do we got? I think that's the clip. Well, this is the first time in a altercation, whatever you want to call what's going on in Iran, that America has used drones. These are surface drones. These are boats, and it must have been at night. Wait till you see this. It's going up against a submarine and a ship repair thing in Iran on at its harbor. Let's take a look. Here come the drones, coming in, one on the right, one center. Must have been at night. Kaboom. Now another one. Look at that. For the first time, America has its own surface drones. One more time. Wouldn't be daylight, would it? Don't think it'd be daylight. And let's hear from the Secretary of the Treasury. Going to do an IRS audit on people who handled that Minnesota money. I think that's what he's talking about.
Civil enforcement is auditing financial institutions that facilitated the laundering of Minnesota funds, in addition to helping support criminal and civil enforcement efforts. The IRS will also soon announce the formation of a task force
Get him. Get him. I got CNBC talking with Trump. It was kind of interesting. But could play that. Let's see. What are you talking about here, Pavel? Being able to track all the metrics of body functions so easily these days really helps. The gamification element. We like numbers go up. We like number go up or down. I just keep an eye. I like my Apple Watch. I mean, I kind of time myself. I want to get see how I'm doing. And the heart rate is cool. But the key is to get there. Just do the work. You got to put the work in. You want to take a tablet, you want to take a peptide, get the work in. I think that's more important. And no matter what you do, you're, how do I phrase this? You're just passing through. You can take as good, I don't think anybody took care of themselves better than Jack LaLanne. But when you hit mid-80s, if I can get to mid-80s, pain-free, 85, 86, that's perfect. All right, what do we do today? What do we got? Hour and 28 minutes? I think that's plenty. Unless you want to hear Trump talking to CNBC, but this was a couple days ago. And I have another guy who claims to have been, what was his... He was in the film division of the Air Force, and he was let in. He got to see some photos, pretty disturbing. But he got killed. What was his name? I guess I could play you that one. Sergeant Carl with a K. Wolf ends in an E. So let's bring him up. I put him in my projects. Okay, now I got to refresh. There we go. Oh, it popped up. Sergeant Carl Wolf. Let's bring him into the birdcage. Now he's deceased, but it's an honor to have him here. I didn't get his photo. Why did I get his photo? Well, I didn't. Well, we got a clip of him. Brief biography. Carl R. Wolf was a former U.S. Air Force sergeant and electronic photo technician who became known in UFO circles for claiming that in the mid-60s he was told that classified photographs showed large artificial structures on the far side of the moon. Now this one may be disinformation because it's too hard to believe. To get you off track of the UFOs, it's too hard to believe. Maybe, but I don't know. Wolf said he served with the Air Force at a time when NASA's lunar orbiter program was photographing the moon in preparation for the Apollo landings. The historical setting of the story is real. NASA's 5 lunar orbital missions flew in the 66 to 67, were managed by NASA's Langley Research Center in Virginia, and eventually photographed about 99% of the lunar surface, including the far side. The moon does not rotate, right? You got a light side and a dark side. What Wolf claimed happened, according to Wolf's public testimony, he was sent to a highly secure facility at Langley Air Force Base in Virginia to help troubleshoot photographic or electronic equipment associated with the processing of lunar imagery. While there, Wolf said another technician privately showed or described to him photographs of the moon's far side. We're going to let him talk in a minute. He recalled being told, we discovered a base on the backside of the moon. What? Wolf said the images appeared to show large geometric structures, unlike natural lunar terrain, features he described as including towers, domes, or spherical shapes and other constructed-looking formations. He later characterized the supposed installations as being of unknown origin. Now, the important distinction, Wolf said he did not personally photograph the structures, did not keep copies of the images, and did not claim to know who built them. His allegation rested on what he remembered seeing and being told by another person. Accounts of his testimony places public disclosure in the orbit of the 2001 Disclosure Project event at the National Press Club. All right, so let's listen to Sergeant Wolf. He's since you got to listen to how he died. This is very tragic. His death. Carl Wolf died in 2018 at the age of 74 after being struck by a tractor trailer while riding a bicycle in New York. Bad way to go. Some UFO websites have put, I don't think there's anything suspicious about that, but that's how he passed. All right, Sergeant Wolf. Here he is.
And I will testify under oath before Congress that what I'm saying is the truth. My boss came to me. I was working in a color lab at that time. I was a technician, photographic technician. I was asked to go over to this facility on Langley Air Force Base where the NSA was bringing in the information from the lunar orbiter. And so I packed up some tools. I went over. I went into the facility. A couple of officers took me into this hangar. It was a very large hangar. So they took me into this laboratory. I took a look at the equipment. There was an airman second class in there. I was an airman second class as well. He turned the equipment on and put it through its paces. It didn't do what it was supposed to do. I saw what was going on with it. And I said to him, we'll have to take this thing out of the lab if we're going to work on it. We can't work on it in here in the darkroom environment. So everyone left the facility, left the darkroom, except this airman second class and myself. And we're waiting for someone to come to remove this piece of equipment. And at the time, I didn't know what the real purpose of this darkroom and this operation in this facility was. I thought this was where they were bringing the data in and then releasing the images to the public. They were doing 35 millimeter strips of film at that time, which were then assembled into 18.5 by 11 inch mosaics, they were called. There was a digital signature and a grayscale on every 35 millimeter strip. And those strips were from successive passes around the moon. So he was showing me how all this worked, and we walked over to one side of the lab, and he said, by the way, we've discovered a base on the back side of the moon. And I said, whose? What do you mean, whose? He said, yes, we've discovered a base on the back side of the moon. And at that point, I became frightened, and I was a little terrified, thinking to myself that if anybody walks in the room now, I know we're in jeopardy, we're in trouble, because he shouldn't be giving me this information. And then he pulled out one of these mosaics and showed this base, which had geometric shapes. There were towers, there were spherical buildings, there were very tall towers, and things that looked somewhat like radar dishes, but they were large structures. If I compare it to what I'm seeing now, because I do have photographs that have artifacts in them that are similar to what I saw, they're massive. Some of the structures are, half a mile in size. So they're huge structures. Some of the buildings seem to have very reflective surfaces on them. A couple of structures that I saw reminded me of cooling towers at power generating plants. They had that sort of a shape. Some of them were just very, very straight and tall with a flat top. Some of them were round. Some of them looked like a Quonset hut, with a domed kind of, like a greenhouse. The particular shot that I saw, there were several clustered together over a landscape, a fairly large landscape. I didn't want to look at it any longer than that because I felt that my life was in jeopardy. Do you understand what I'm saying? I would love to have looked at it longer. I would have loved to have had copies. I would love to have, said more about it or discussed it more, but I knew I couldn't. And I knew that young fellow who was sharing this was really, really overstepping his bounds at that point.
War.gov, I want to see that. That'll, they got some really good stuff if they wanted to show us. But I think, again, they're inoculating the world and the American public before they give all the good stuff. Oh, what a beautiful day out there. Birdcage dropped all the way down to 81. Nice rain. Green things up. And unless you got a comment, I think we're good. That's your DOXX Report show for the day. My only point is, I'm not judging anyone, but it's your responsibility. Just because a doctor recommends a surgery doesn't mean you have to do it. I mean, the doctor told me the ACL tear, allegedly. I tried to get an MRI. I didn't even go for that because I don't want him cutting on me. But it did heal. And I've been at points in my life where I was getting heavy and I just started walking. Now, am I condemning you? Anybody out there? No. But just to go to a tablet quickly or a stomach staple or, but you can't compare that to a hernia repair or an appendicitis or kidney stones. That's something else. This is behavior. Obesity is a result of behavior, right? Am I wrong on that? Mega value customer, there are medicines that have side effects, and then there are medicines that don't work. And look at all the poor people on these antidepressants. Now, am I judging you? No, I'm just saying that's where therapy comes in. I was mildly depressed, but it doesn't mean I run and grab an antidepressant. There's reasons, That's to get you to do things. Well, I like my treats, but Palanca, a lot of it is diet, but it's also appetite. If you're not working out, I find that on a long weekend, my appetite is like, why am I eating all the time? Because I haven't been working out. But mine's only 4 days a week. You got to cut it back, I think, for 72. So I do a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and it's 2 hours. So it's a total of 8 hours in the week. Bigger difference in exercise. I think it's a combination. It's not either or. It's your food intake plus your exercising, and I think a little caffeine helps. And be busy. When I'm at home, I get things done. There's stuff I have to do, and that keeps me from eating. But I do like sitting in the chair watching YouTube. So that's all. Just to consider. Now, JB, he spends a lot of time online, doesn't he? I mean, want to go out for a walk. That's all.
Thank you.